to another episode of On the Capo Stand podcast. I am your host, David, and alongside yours truly, as in every week, we have our good friends. John, how you doing, John?
Good, David. How are you?
Awesome, brother. And our good friend Ahmed, how you doing, brother?
Good. Hey, how you doing, David, John, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome
Happy
back.
Monday.
It's first show of the
Yes,
year. First show of the new
indeed.
year.
Absolutely. Please allow me to be the first one to wish you prosperous and happy 2024. It's going to be a great year with Orlando City, we hope, and also at the same time, we hope that it's going to be great with you personally. There's a problem with my feed today, so we're gonna have to work through that. My apologies. Well, there's plenty of news going around Orlando City, and we're not gonna waste our time, and we're gonna go right to it. Before that, I would like to thank or congratulate our U14s who crowned themselves champion in the latest tournament up in Jacksonville. And Ahmed, you were there. How did
Yes,
that go?
sir. Yeah, it was a great weekend. It was a very long weekend, and I think there was a picture of it online. I have it here. So you have the U14s up there, and they're up there along with Esteban Pareja, who's the director of the Orlando City Soccer School, and their coach, Magnum Silva is his name. So yeah, they fought it out all weekend. There was a tremendous amount of talent over there. It's crazy. It's really nice to see. Nice to see it growing. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. They did a really good job. So congratulations to them.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So let's go to it. We have a new name for our stadium, our home at 655 West Church Street in Orlando, and that is Interco Stadium. Interco Stadium. That's the new name. I know a lot of people are upset at the name. So, guys, let's start with you, John, and then Ahmed. How you guys feel about the new name?
I mean, it's annoying because you never see a club like Milan. You have the two teams there. One's AC Milan and one's Inter Milan. You never see AC Milan have Inter anywhere on their stadium, but yet our ownership and front office continues to prove that they have zero grasp on the culture of the sport and will sell their souls to the highest dollar. And it's it's annoying, but the team's still going to be there, and I'll still be there to support the boys on the field, no matter what boneheaded moves the front office makes.
Ahmed?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, a name is a name. Does it rub you the wrong way that it starts with Inter? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm more concerned, and I know we're going to talk about it with the inaction of the team. Like as far as we're concerned, up until this point, name of the stadium. Could they have picked a better name? Yeah. Did somebody, hopefully, in the front office say, "Do you guys think somebody's going to think there's a problem with this?" I'm pretty sure they kind of knew that going in, right? I find it really, really hard to believe that the front office is that disconnected, but I'm hoping that they're just uh, looking past it and hoping that with the improvements that supposedly they're going to be making to the stadium, um, money talks. So it is what it is. We'll move past it. We'll get past it, and you know, I'm not a fan
No,
of the
for
name.
sure. And
It doesn't
my
even like
understanding is
roll off the tongue. You know what I mean? It's not like
I know.
it doesn't like flow. Like Kia Center even flows more than that. You know what I? It's just
Mhm.
like, come on.
I'm with you. I'm with you. The deal is 55 million for 10 years. $55 million that are gonna go straight to improvements of the facility. Our stadium is 8 years old. There's some issues with it as far as amenities and other things like that. It's no secret that our old ownership did not have the money to build a proper stadium, and I'm making air quotes. And the facility was very Spartan, was clean, was functional. The pitch was pristine. The facilities for the players, both visiting and for Lions, were very good. But the fact of the matter is that they went for functionality rather than pizzazz and glitz. And there's a lot of things that can be improved. And obviously, $55 million. I don't know about you guys, but $55 million stacked on top of each other is a lot of cash. So nothing, we just hopefully will grow up in us. The fact that it says Inter, it bothers me. I'm not gonna lie, but the name of the company is not Inter and Company, is Interco. And the other thing is that they're a company that is very popular in Latin America when it comes to transferring currency, also buying gift cards and things like that. And they are very, very, very intertwined with Brazilian football. And that's part of the partnership where the club felt that this will open doors for us in Brazilian academies and in the Brazilian pyramid. And we got to welcome that. Of course, with years, with time. Listen, if we win MLS Cup in 2024, nobody's going to give a crap about the name of this.
Exactly.
So
Exactly,
that's
man.
the name of
So,
the stadium for those watching and wondering is Inter and Co Stadium.
correct. But I was told that the name of the company, how it's pronounced, is Interco. They don't pronounce the
Interesting.
and. Yeah,
Okay.
so Interco Stadium. So there we have it. Guys, if you don't mind reading the comments there by Hector.
Yeah, sure. I got it. Let's see here. This first one, he actually posted a picture on the Facebook, on the YouTube video, I think it was, of an Inter Miami Interco logo, and he says, "I can totally understand the money part, but the name is ducking us bad. I don't think anyone can disagree with you on that one, Hector. If we take an L at home versus Miami, good luck on social media."
Yeah, for
Honestly,
sure.
I think it's already started, uh,
Hmm.
even before then. So agreed, man.
Yeah, they
Agreed.
had the audacity to go online saying Poppy is Poppy. Listen, I'm sorry. You have never won in Orlando. You have been taking L's from Orlando for a long time. You are less successful. You try to spin everything. Try to make it look like you are ahead of the curve. Oh, look, in last years we have accomplished all this. Nobody cares. The fact is, I watched your uh, preseason games, and Payne soon will be arriving to South Florida. And for anybody that paid the 7 grand for per seat for the season, your accountant is going to be asking questions in 2025 about your ability to discern a good deal when you have it in front of you. With that said, guys, I would like to bring. I promised this fan that I was gonna bring this up. I mean, her name is Jacqueline Carrion. She's in
Yep.
the Orlando City
Discussion.
group
Yep.
discussion group. Thank you, on Facebook, and her kids are in a some sort of a fundraiser at their school. No, we're not gonna say the school, but it's a elementary school here in Orange County. And if you donate and they win the fundraiser, is going to the part of the benefit to the winner is that they're gonna get to fly their sports team flag of choice for a week, and obviously these two siblings have chosen Orlando City. If you are interested, there's a link on her original post. If you're interested, we can just contact us, any of us, and we'll provide information. I think this is pretty neat, and it's going for a good cause, helping a local school, and also it would be nice to see the our colors fly off the flagpole. And like again, this is about building bridges in the community. And I think it's very nice. Guys, there's been some news, some movement, And first things first, and that is, my friends, that a surprise to me. There's a player that we're going after. His name is David Brekalo or Brekalo. Hopefully, I'm getting that
Mhm.
correct. Right now. He's playing for Viking FK in Norway, and he's a center back that is rumored to have a value, according to Transfermarkt, of $3.5 million. Uh, we have seen that he is following Ricardo Moreira on Instagram. This is rumored to be that is going to be taking Antonio Carlos's place on the back. And I don't know about you guys. We had great results with Scandinavian players so far. DDT will spend some time with the national team of Iceland. Did fantastic, and obviously with Robin Jansen, who's rumored to be our next captain at the moment. So, what do you guys think about that? Let's start with you, John, and then Ahmed.
Yeah, I mean it's something we need. Something we need depth at the center back position because it was basically Janssen, Schlegel, and then a couple guys from Orlando City B who are unproven at the senior level. Bringing in somebody like that seems like would be a good fit with Robin, another strong, tall center back. Looks like he may have a little bit more speed or does have more speed than Robin does. So I feel like that's the need what the team needs. Um, One of the holes they need to fill. Schlegel did a great job last year. But in the end, he showed why he's still a backup, and that's because he can be a little um, unlevel-headed. Loses mentality or lose the wherewithal. To realize the time in the match and making a challenge in the first 15 minutes of the match that leads to a yellow card. Um, didn't help our chances against Columbus. So it's what they need. And I think if we do get the signing like we put on the show on the Instagram, the original offer was $2 million. The transfer market estimated value of him is 3.5 million. So you know, again, that's an estimation. It'll be somewhere in that neighborhood, somewhere in that 2.5 to 4.5 million dollar neighborhood. He's a center back, so they're. It's not like when we signed Faku, his value was at like 7. We signed him for 10. That's a pretty big jump. Transfer market's usually pretty good to get those estimations pretty much around where the guy's going to go within a couple million anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a good fit.
Yeah, I
Fantastic.
agree. I mean,
Ahmed.
I think based on everything we're looking at, I think he'd be a great fit, but there's only one way to tell, and that's get him here, have him start playing because everything always looks good on paper, but it's how they
Mhm.
gel when they get here, how he adapts, how he plays with the rest of the team. So, um, it's I'm excited about it because we really need somebody solid there to help solidify that back line, and I think he could be a huge piece. I mean, just as Antonio Carlos was. So definitely looking forward to it.
No, absolutely, yes, absolutely, and that's not the only move that is
Yeah.
rumored to be happening. Petrasso has been moved. He is going to be playing in Trieste, Italy. Oddly enough, I've been to Trieste, Italy. It's if you care about to know, is east of Venice, and is on the border with Slovenia. So it's if you look in the map, if you look at Italy, is your top right corner. If you're looking at the map, on the top of the Adriatic, beautiful city. And so he's gonna be playing third division while there. We wish him the best. There's a possibility of them purchasing him. In his debut, they won. So in in the comments there that I got to see, a lot of the fans were very happy with performance. Luca, being of Italian descent, he counts as a national player. So he's probably gonna flourish there. And if he does great, and the team wants to get him back, great. And if they sell him, it's money that we're getting for a player that costs us nothing. I mean, he's a Toronto FC product from their academy, and quite honestly, we wish him the best. I got to meet Luca last year. Very nice fella, and I wish him the best. I really do. If you guys have any comments, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, we have a comment by Carlos, if you don't mind, guys.
John, can you take it? Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, I mean Petrasa, I mean it's kind of worrisome because we don't have much depth at that left back position. Um, that's the only comment I have. He didn't get to play much last year, but left back we're a little weak on. Right back we're a little stronger with DDT coming up and stepping in the way he did and creating a real battle, in my opinion, this preseason between him and Mikey on who's going to get it. And by the way, I saw right before the show it is Mikey Holiday's birthday, so happy
Oh,
birthday to him.
yeah.
But
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
Good,
I
good.
think him and DDT are going to battle on the right, and we really have nobody on the left. We have one. What's his face? I can't think of his name. It's been too long since we've been around the team, guys.
Angulo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
Yeah.
So did anybody read Carlos's comment before I move on?
Oh, I got it. I got it. Carlos said, "Hope he takes that role more personal, and it will show on the field."
Okay, I'm
I
I'm
think.
assuming he's talking about Luca, and yeah, for sure. Um, Another news that surprised to me because I was very high on this player. Hurts me to see him go. Venezuelan Moises Tablante, a guy that is a Venezuelan international, a product of the academy, the Orlando City Academy, a long time Orlando City B player. Unfortunately, has moved on. He has been signed by the first team of FC Cincinnati. I know him
Hmm.
personally. I interviewed him in Tiro de Esquina podcast a few years back. His father is a diehard Orlando City fan, so I know this is a professional decision, one in which behind closed doors. Moises had told me that Inter Miami and Sporting Kansas City had approached them, and out of loyalty to the club, they decided to stick around for a little bit longer, so hoping to get a space. But the reality is, and this I can tell you with confidence, or the Orlando City, the club, the front office, the ownership, they want to win today, and that's the reason why we're gonna be going over these decisions that they have made. I know for a lot of people they don't make sense or they are too cutthroat, but this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for, right? You wanted to win, and winning, while it's conceived in the training pitch and born in the hearts of the players, also has to happen with talent, and last year we were short of that goal, and the club is going to make all the decisions to win. And I can tell you this with all the honesty in the world. While I love the players, I love following them on social media and all that, the reality is I want to win. So we have that. Next thing, Orlando City has signed U.S. Youth International left back, going to what John was talking about. Tahir Reed Brown to a homegrown deal. Reed Brown is 17 years old. He's a highly rated left back. He has made 3 appearances with the United States U17 at the World Cup and was named MLS Next Star in 2023. So welcome to the club. I'm assuming this guy is going to go straight to OCB, being that young. Um, then on other news, and my apologies to Amanda and John because I'm going through all this. Obviously, I will let you have the microphone to make your comments on this stuff. This is from Austin David, who reported that the church that stood next to the stadium since it was built is no more as part of the new renovations to the stadium. The 20,000 square foot plot of land will be utilized as part of an expanded main street plaza for fans and
Mhm.
events. The club plans in the future, whenever that is, to have a permanent structure. There's some things there. If you ask me, a team store and museum will be a killer because overseas, when there's no, it's not a game day and the stadium is closed, that's what's open, the team store, and the ability for people to, to come and check out the trophies and history of the club. And I think after 10 seasons in MLS and 4 seasons in USL, we have accumulated enough history, right? So there's that. Also, guys, there's rumors about Duncan Maguire. There's an interest from Stoke City. The club may be looking for shopping for this kid. And the rumors that he may be gone in the summer. So get your autographs, take your pictures. Um, the let's see what else. And as of late, this all this broke today, and I want to thank our good friend Brian, who has always come through for us with info. I don't know where Brian gets his info. He goes into the dark web and gets his stuff before everybody else. So we thank him for that. Today, breaking news: Martin Ojeda has been sent on loan to Boca Juniors in Argentina. The 25-year-old is going to go there with an option to buy for $7 million. So this is a done deal. It is a done. And another one that was a little bit of a surprise, but not so much, is um, Gaston Gonzalez, who's going to be joining former captain Mauricio Pereira at Nacional in Uruguay. The 22-year-old is going to left winger is going to be there on loan with until December. And at that point, there's the option to see if he's going to be sold or he's going to be returned to us. He has $3.5 million tag. And last, there's rumors that the union representing the MLS refs has unanimously. No, this is not a rumor. This is a fact, actually, from Tom Bogert. That the union representing the MLS refs has unanimously voted to strike if there's no label agreement with Pro by January 31st. And the label stoppage feels uncertain. One source puts it at 99%. 99%. MLS could use replacements ref if that happens. Guys, any opinions about what all this long list of things that have happened?
Go ahead, John. I'll let you go first, man.
The fact that we're loaning two players and not selling two players kind of shocks me. You'd think if you got rid of two players that one in Gonzalez through 2 seasons and the other in Ojeda through 1 season, whether through their own fault or in Gonzalez's case injuries, haven't been able to be on the field much. Um, Gonzalez, I honestly thought that they would be doing something with him as far as a loan, but Ojeda, him not being a sale, where the team um, gets some money back, opens up a designated player spot, and then we're just loaning him. From what I understand, the designated player spot for him and the U22 spot for Gonzalez still taken up on the team because they're still technically a rostered player, even though they're on loan. So it's not like we could go out and make a big splash signing with a senior DP. Just really leaves you scratching your head as to where the direction that this team's looking to go this offseason. There's 10 days left in the transfer window, in the January transfer window. We all saw last year how, the first 2.5, 3 months really came back to bite us with lack of form at the beginning. If they would have, just won 50% of the matches, we would have been right there with Cincinnati for that first place spot. In the end, did it really matter? the universe only knows, basically. But it really makes you scratch your head and wonder what they're doing here with going forward with this team this year. It almost feels like at this point, depending on what happens with Duncan between in the next 10 days, it's almost like it's a roster dump. Like a team that failed miserably last year did. Which did we fail last year? No. Did we succeed last year? Kind of. So it's disheartening to see all these players go, and all these big sponsorship signings happen, and nothing even whispers of a big splash player being on the way, or even the capability of that happening.
Ahmed?
Yeah. I'll echo what John is saying. For me, the most frustrating part right now is just seeing these transfers that they're doing or these loans out and not knowing what our plan is. Obviously, if they're doing these things, there has to be a plan. I would like to think you're not just loaning players out without a plan to fill those spots. So I'll just feel a lot more comfortable when that reveals itself, because we're getting closer. We have a friendly coming up, and it's like, okay, so who's actually going to be on the lineup? Um, yeah, that for me is the biggest part. And as far as the referees go, that may be a blessing in disguise in a way. I'm not sure who they would get to
Yeah.
replace them, but in a way that may be a blessing in disguise.
No, for sure. And I gotta tell you guys, fact of the matter is, when Oscar was interviewed last Monday about um, the possibilities of what the club was doing, they're like, we're actively recruiting,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, if they're making room the way they are, is because there's people that they want to bring that they feel that that's going to make a difference. Gaston, I'm so sad to see that it did not work out. He may have a future with the club coming back for the Nacional if he has a very good time, very good performance down there. Um, and if he doesn't, then just cut our losses and move on. We did a solid by him by bringing him on board, even though he destroyed his leg in the last game before transferring to Orlando, which talking about bad luck. And last year he underperformed, and
Mm-hmm.
coming from the bench. So the fact is that we want to win, and we're not a charity case, and it sounds harsh, but that's what it boils down to. And when it comes to Martin Ojeda was brought in as a DP, and he was on the bench. He was coming from the bench, playing 20-25 minutes per game, and rarely you know, having that spark that a DP needs to bring. I remind everybody that the three things a DP has to have in this league: has to be a starter, has to be a game changer, has to be a scorer. And unfortunately for Tincho, those things were not happening consistently. I think his best performance was that equalizer at Charlotte, where he just basically on that free kick from across the pitch, impressive. But we never got to see that glimmer of hope. There may still be moves. We started the season in 4 weeks. In 3 weeks, we're gonna have our first competitive game. We have the friendly that we're gonna talk about this Saturday, and after that, there's a couple of more scrimmages, and then after that, we're go and we're back at it. And
With the
I think,
transfers, guys. I'm sorry, David.
go ahead, brother.
I was joking with a coworker today when the Ojeda news broke. I'm like, you know what? They just signed that big stadium contract for 10 years. Neymar's is out of contract because his club terminated his. Get rid of buy down one of the like our listener Brett Carl said in the comments. Buy down one of the U22 players. Get him under that DP salary, and then just throw the Brinks truck at Neymar to get him to come over here. Obviously, I was saying that in jest. Neymar was a great player. I don't know how much passion he has left for the game with the injuries and stuff he's but you know, yeah, that was just a joke that I had with a coworker that I still thought was kind of kind of funny. And David, before I let you go, we are we do have a bunch of comments that came in the last
Please
little
go
bit.
ahead and read them.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go ahead and read some of them, Ahmed, and then I'll
Yeah.
leave some of them for you. So, Mr. J. Santos commented Santos when I couldn't remember the name of the left back. Thank you very much. David, I need your translation skills for this one.
Okay, yeah, the Hector, bro. So much you talk so much about Moises, and I never got to see him play. This one is actually gonna hurt. And yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of OCB. OCB, by the way, is available for free with your Apple Plus membership. You know, again, if you have the time, go watch the guys. I keep complaining that the fact that to go see them live, it's about $20. It's to me is excessive to charge that much for MLS Next. But I made it last year once to one game. They lost miserably, but yeah, a great player. And again, I said it on Facebook. I hope this one doesn't come back to bite us. Go ahead, John.
And if it's not on Apple Plus, it's on YouTube streaming live as well.
For sure. On ESPN Plus as well sometimes.
Yep. Mr. J Santos 7 clarified about his Santos comment on the left side. Um, Carlos Nieto, agree with that statement. We asked for it, and the front office is giving us that, is going to give us that. And then my last one, and then Ahmed, you can take over after this one. Nothing worse than pro refs, so we should be good.
No, for sure, guys. Okay, cool. Before we move on to who are we going to be playing this Saturday, I want to let you know that also there's a rumor that um, Wilfredo Rivera may be returning to the club as an OCB player. They let him go. They did not pick up his option, but they can resign him as a MLS Next player. He's only 20 years old, super talented in my opinion, and a player that hopefully we're not gonna give up on. That's the story, and if that happens, great. I think he still has a lot to offer towards this club. Well, my friends, this Saturday, if you haven't bought your ticket, I suggest you do now. They are not cheap, and definitely they are going out fast. 2 p.m. this Saturday, the boys of the 407 are going to be facing Flamengo. Actually, full name of the club. And here I'm gonna have to put my Portuguese accent. This is Club de Regatas do Flamengo, and this boys call um, Rio de Janeiro home, founded in 1995. One of two clubs that have never been relegated from the first division. The other one being Sao Paulo. And the guys are coming here as part of the FC series. They had a friendly today at the home of the Rowdies in St. Petersburg against Philadelphia Union. Don't know the end result of that one, and I apologize for that. But they're gonna be here. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. Their fans here in Florida and throughout the United States always travel well. It just happens to be summertime in Brazil, and a lot of Brazilians are here on summer vacation. So I expect to see a good contingent of the Brazilian fans. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I usually try to skip this friendlies, especially when you have to pay for them, because it's a game that doesn't count for anything. But obviously, it's gonna be the only opportunity to see our team before it's for real. And because this year we're gonna have that opportunity. There's gonna be an opportunity February 10th against New England for Society 21 supporters only, and I believe supporter group members are gonna be available to go. I'm gonna be a shameless beggar, and I'm gonna say if anybody out there has tickets to spare for some for a humble fan that just wants to get some memorabilia signed, please reach out to myself and John. That will be awesome if you could spare. Thank you very much. And then after that, we got some guys. We have some scrimmages, and then we go to Concacaf, and then the beginning of the season. So with that said, your expectations of this Saturday. And first of all, let me know if you're gonna be there as well.
Go ahead,
I'll
Ahmed.
go.
I've been first a couple
Yeah, yeah.
times.
Um, I will not be there this Saturday. Not as of right now. And I would like to see a good match. I would like to hear about a good match because I know it's going to be broadcast on a Brazilian channel. So if I don't get to go, I'm going to try my best to see it. I just want to see the guys play well as a team, whoever it is that they field. Am I expecting us to win? No, right? I'm not. I'll be honest because I don't think we're there at that. It's not even about level in comparison to the team, but I just feel like we're a new team. It's preseason. I'm not expecting that. If we come off with a win, I'll be thrilled. They just played the Philadelphia Union yesterday, and I believe
Oh, it was just
the Flamingo won 2-0
oof.
against Philadelphia Union. So I feel like if we get a draw, I'd be happy. If we get a win, I'd be optimistic about our future because I feel like the guys have not had that much time back. I mean, they've
Hmm.
only been back for a couple of weeks,
And we're
if
gonna be
that.
depleted too, because I mean, all those guys
That's
that
what I
have.
mean. And that's what I'm saying. And it's like we don't know what the roster is going to be, what the lineups. For me, this is Oscar's chance to play around with the lineup, to see who he's got, see how they're going to play. This is like their first chance to actually play a competitive game that test them, right? So I'm not counting this for anything other than this is his chance to. This is the time when you say they need time to gel, play around with the lineups, change it. So if we come out with the same lineup that we had, I don't know that I'll be thrilled. I want to see like play around with it, see what you can do with what you have, you know.
For
So
sure,
that's
for
my
sure.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I expect it to be similar to the Philadelphia match, 2-0. Maybe something like 2-1, 1-1, something like that. I hope Poppy really plays around with the lineup. Maybe tries like a 3-5-2 formation. With Robin and Schlegel and Smith in the back three. And then the three midfielders be, you know, just mix it up, have some fun with it. Try different looks. Maybe if it's something where it's a close match late, go with the famous 4-2-3-1 or whatever formation you want to call it. We played last year, and then just test things out. I felt like last year the scrimmage that everybody got to see against was it New England kind of was your generic poppy formation. He did change it up a little bit later and more of a uh, two defensive midfielders versus only the one, but still pretty kept it pretty standard the whole game. But I'm excited. It's going to be interesting to see. I heard it's going to be something like 75% away supporters, so we'll see
Oh,
how
for
that
sure,
goes.
absolutely.
Uh, you
Hmm.
know, see how that goes. That'll make it a interesting match. Kind of breaks my heart that the club didn't promote it enough to the locality, to the locals to get more Orlando City fans in there to make it more of a home field. But it is what it is, and I'll be excited to be there. We're going Saturday as well.
All right, guys, we can go to the comments. I'll
Yeah, I
appreciate
got
that.
some. I got some. So here we go. Orlando Soccer 10. Welcome to 2024, guys. Yeah, it's concerning to see these guys leaving. We haven't backfilled Kara either.
Correct.
Yeah. Brett Carl says, can they buy down one of the other U22 players with Tim and get a full DP spot? I think that's what you had also mentioned, John.
Yeah.
And we have Buzz L. Same thing I said when I saw all the transfer posts, but nothing coming. This was all about what we were saying earlier.
Hmm.
Lona Gonzalez keeps Cesar as a U22 and buy down Enrique to get a full DP. Isn't that an option? I don't know. Is
Yeah,
that an
and I
option?
believe
I don't.
Cesar is on his last year as a U22. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen this
I
year.
think that was the holdup in his contract, is if the contract would have been very close to that max without him being a senior DP.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Murico Suave says, "Hey guys, hey Murico Suave." Carlos Nieto says he'll be there. All right,
All
that's
right,
great.
brother.
And he says, "Agreed. I don't expect the win, but a good showing of what will be to come."
Hmm.
Absolutely. I think that's all of. Really think that's for me. That's the biggest thing. I just want to see a good us playing well, regardless of the outcome. So,
Yes.
um, and Juan Nieto says a new look in the lineup would be nice.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I gotta tell you guys, it's a friendly. It's a place to try different things. The result, in quite honestly, to me, is inconsequential. We had seasons where we like beat the crap out of our opponent, and they came back to none of that turned out to be what the season was all about. So with that said, um, look, I'm going because to myself and my kids, is traditional for us to catch a preseason game this time, because it's not an event that is sponsored by the club. This is actually the FCC series. They extended the invitation
Mhm.
for us to be part of it. So it's their event and they can charge whatever they want for it. I think knowing that the Brazilians were gonna show up in full force, they went heavy with the tickets. I believe the cheapest tickets were on the wall for $35, which is what I ended up going for. I canceled all the things that I had going on that day. I'm skipping going to synagogue and all that because it's 2 p.m. So yeah, to me it was that important to go see what we're all about. Obviously, when I made that decision, was before we clean house. At this point, we have about 10 spots between players that were not renewed, players that were sent on loan, players that were sold. So it's gonna be a very very different team. But like again, I don't want to sound arrogant when I say this, but the reality is that I feel that a lot of fans put a lot of sentimentality to the players, and for that, I have to say that in the game of football is players and managers come and go, and the supporter remains. And the guys that have wore our colors for the most part are very nice people. They're very friendly. When it comes to just mention a few guys, Gaston Gonzalez, young kid coming from a good family. Dad's a mailman, mom is a clerk. He just wanted to come to the states and do something. And when it comes to Tincho Ojeda, young guy with a little kid, a little toddler. So I mean, you see that on social media, and it's very hard to get attached to people. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, this is a game of results. It's an industry of results. It's what you've done for me lately. And Oscar Pareja is coaching for his job. He was given the extension. Doesn't mean that they can't turn around if things are not where they will expect, and they let him go in the summer, or they just don't renew him after December. He has been given an opportunity, and I'm on record saying that I felt uh, that even with the success last year, perhaps it was time to go somewhere else. And I have, like I said before, it's not an attack on the person. Oscar, to me, I keep him very highly. He's a fantastic person. I had the privilege and the honor to talk to the man for twice, and he's a fantastic guy. But at the same time, I want my team to win, and I think after being so close last year, finishing second in the league, which it has to be an achievement that we have to be very proud of. We can't swim the Atlantic just to drown on a foot of water. We can't. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. And I felt that had the results in the beginning of the season had gone our way, we would have probably gone and taken the supporter shield. It's not far fetched. and seeing how Columbus won their third um, MLS Cup, second in 4 years, tells me that we could have done that. They didn't do anything special. They didn't sign Messi. They didn't sign Ronaldo. They didn't sign any crazy players. They didn't bring Pep Guardiola to be their manager. They just did what they had to do with what they had, and we can do the same. So
But you
with
know what
that,
they did, David? You know what they did?
one.
What's the thing we always ask the team to play? Attacking soccer. That's how they won. They won and they lost by playing attacking soccer.
That's very true, my friend. And they defeated us and defeated FC Cincinnati with the same play, having Superman Ramirez crash the box after going wide. It was just like textbook. I just couldn't believe it they did it that way. But football is, say it with me, everybody. Football is a
Cruel
pound
and
talent
unpredictable.
and
Oh.
an also luck. There you go, my friends. Let's go ahead and read this comment by our friend Muy Rico Suave.
Yeah, I'll take it. He says, I don't think Oscar has evolved enough, and I'm not confident that he's learned to attack. I wanted a new coach for that reason alone, but let's see what happens. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we have said it. Rooting for Oscar to fail, because a lot of people have accused me of that. Like, oh my God, you just want him to fail, you want him to lose. People have said, oh, I hope your employer fires you. You know why my employer's not gonna fire me? Because I am Pep Guardiola and what I do for a living. I am that successful. Okay, and if you follow us on Instagram, you see that I have no problems bragging about how good I am in my profession. In biomedical engineering, I am the man. I keep holding the alligators down. I keep jet flying, limousine riding, kiss stealing. I still got the diamond ring Rolex, the ring wearing. I'm still that guy. But because I am that guy, I expect the same for my football clubs. And I gotta tell you, and for those playing bingo, take your shots, mark your cards. I don't know if you guys remember, I was telling you that my team, Maccabi Haifa in Israel, was having issues. They had a successful manager. He left. A new guy took in, his assistant took in. He was having a hard time. The guy's winning. The guy's winning because, again, everybody wanted him gone. Now they love him. They hug him. They hold on to him. And when he has come to Stevenage, we were high flying. I guess we got too close to the sun. We had some bad streaks. Some games suspended due to the weather, and we went to the FA Cup and got kicked out of it by a team in sixth division, which is embarrassing because last year we beat Villa, a Premier side,
Mhm.
in their home. Football is like that, guys. It's up and downs, but at the same time, I have high expectations of our boys, and I want to win. I want to win, and I hope that you do want to win as well. There's people that are mad about the fact that we are super quiet, but I tell you what, guys, I feel that if it's not this week, it's next week or the week after, we're gonna be like back to back, back to back, back to. We are not gonna know what to do. We're gonna hear about these players because we have, excuse me, we have to have a roster. Our final roster has to be presented to the league a week before our first game. Okay, so this and also when we're playing Montreal. No, I'm sorry, we're playing Calvary, Montreal, Calvary at home, and we're going down to Miami. That's the beginning of our season. We have to be ready for it. You can't show up against these teams, with playing some guy that you drafted, unknown guy or some guy from OCB. You have to have players if you're gonna win. So
David, there's only 10 days left in the transfer window. The transfer window
yes,
ends February 1st
to
for the
clarify,
international transfer window.
yes, thank
So
you,
if
John.
we're going to make a big signing, it has to be this week or next week. It can't be 2 weeks from now because they're not going to be able to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And thank you, John. I'm glad that you're clarifying that because that's something that a lot of people forget. Go ahead.
so I mean, if they're not going to do it now, and there's not even whispers online of anything, the big guys haven't said anything, you know, people that have reached out to me haven't said anything. People that have reached out to David haven't said anything. People that have reached out to Ahmed hasn't said anything. There's not even a whisper, a peep from a mouse saying this club is making any splash signing, making any major moves, except for loaning a couple players that have underperformed since they got here.
Mm,
Again, whether it's their fault, bad luck, or they're a victim of the system, the team has to do something. They can't stand pat. In sports, you have to progress one year to the next. It can't be, oh, we got second place this year, we can get middle of the pack, barely squeak in the playoffs as the seventh or eighth seed, and be happy about it. No, like this is a team with the core group of players we have with Faku, with Araujo, with Duncan, with Angulo, with you know, with the guys we
Cartagena.
have, Cartagena. I was trying to think of other younger ones that play continuously, but with the guys we have, the core group of guys we have, especially being so young, this is the time this club needs to go out and get somebody big. They can't wait for next year. Next year, Duncan's probably going to be gone. Faku may be gone if he has a great year this year. Just because he signed an extension doesn't mean he's locked in for the next 3 or 4 seasons. He could go
Yep.
this summer if comes out the gates running. So right now's the time. The team has to make a big splash signing this in the next 2 weeks in order to keep this fan base around and to get new people to come in. They did a good job last year getting new people to come in there at the end of the year. You guys saw it. You guys have season tickets. Stadium was pretty full most of the year. But if they don't do anything now, it's not looking very good, especially with the guys that we've reportedly just sent out on loan
No,
and
for
their
sure,
potential.
for sure. You gotta go out there and get the people excited. I gotta tell you that it appears to me that the loans, especially on Ojeda and Gaston, came as a surprise because those guys were posting, all smiles in their, in their training gear at 1,000 Bill Beck Boulevard over there in Kissimmee, our training facility. I mean, it seems like they just pulled in like last night and say, "Hey, guess what, buddy? Pack your bags. It's time to go." And it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. But again, to me, it appears that the club has to have something because you can't. You can't. I'm sorry,
So
guys.
Hayden's the one coming out on top of this. He gets to play for arguably the biggest team in Argentina, right? Boca Juniors.
Yeah. Well,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
who
One of the talkers is Boca River. I don't want to be assaulted in the streets, John. If we say that Boca is the biggest,
I
so
said, I said, I said, arguably. I left other
yeah,
teams
okay,
in there.
makes sense.
One. I'll put it this way: one of the most recognizable teams from Argentina.
For sure, for sure.
That's
I
like
just
you're
want
trying to compare Real Madrid and Barcelona, and that in Spain to the two clubs in Argentina. But yeah, I
Yes, a
mean, it's got to
disclaimer.
be.
Those were expressions made by John and not me. I think Boca and River are great. They're both the same. They're fantastic. So, all right, brother. Joking. So no, guys. Listen, that's those facts are facts. Uh, Again, it's gonna make for an very interesting week. It's only Monday. It's gonna be making a very interesting week, and the week to follow for sure. My understanding is that once a player's it's an agreement has been reached, the club is gonna have to expedite the immigration paperwork. If the players is from a European Union country, bro, they that high speed. They're here in no time. If it's coming from Latin America, it's gonna take some time to get everything, and also they can't play until we have their ETC, which is the certificate of that you own this player's rights, and all that has to be filed with the office in New York with MLS. If it's Miami, they expedite the paperwork. Is anybody else in this league? Good luck. So we'll have to wait for that. I see that there's some comments before we wrap up. If you guys don't mind reading those.
Yeah, sure. I got it. Gents. Um, we got Carlos Nieto. He said a new manager, change of play will help. You
Hmm.
know what? Every little bit helps.
Yeah, for sure. But
And then,
Oscar is our guy, so we gotta support him.
yeah, absolutely. And William Aguilar, hey William, nice to hear from you, man. He said just joined. I didn't know you guys were coming on. Hopefully, I didn't miss much.
No, my brother, William. If since you follow us on social media, we're just going over all the information that we were putting out today. You're more than welcome to revisit the episode once we're done because we're about to wrap it up. For those that of you that are joining us for the first time, and my apologies. I went on automatic pilot. I would like to let you know that the show is called On the Capo Stand because you have the ability to come on the show and we'll send you the link and you can come on and talk and say your piece about any comments or whatever. So you know you can do that. We are live on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, live on X at On the Capo Stand, live on YouTube at Davis Channel 76, live well not live but on Instagram at On the Capo Stand, live on Facebook at On the Capo Stand. Uh, Podcast, TikTok at On the Capo Stand, Threads at On the Capo Stand, and Blue Sky at On the Capo Stand. So you can interact in all those platforms. You can watch us live. I know that Instagram does live, but I chose not to do it because they erase the recording as soon as you're done, and more than an hour they just shut you down. So I thought that was pretty dumb. So I didn't feel like doing that because you gotta do a bunch of crap and requests, and I like forget about it. So yeah. So in the future, you're more than welcome to comment live, like many of our fellow Orlando City fans have done, and also you can join us live. And again, there's no requirement. You don't have to agree with us. You just gotta be, you just gotta look good for the camera, and love Orlando City, and we don't censor you. Again, I want to remind everybody we don't have any string attached to the club. We don't owe ourselves to anybody. So, we're free to, in a respectful way, without name calling, talk about the club and talk about what we want. Guys, there's not much to talk about. I think we have covered everything. Unless you guys think of anything that we may have neglected. With that said, Ahmed, if you have final words for our friends.
Oh no, you know what? Thank you all for joining. Happy New Year again to everybody. Looking forward to a great season. Looking forward to some exciting times with the team. And for those of you that are going to be there on Saturday, please pour your heart out and show the guys what they have to look forward to during the season. Hopefully, we have a good match. That's all, man.
For
See you
sure.
guys soon.
John.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much let it all out. All I can say without getting you two angry at me for for what I would say. I am very just this the past 2 3 weeks now. I really thought that they would have done something big coming off of last season. Was really looking forward to this transfer window here in January, and the fact that the club hasn't done anything really. We signed a 35-year-old central midfielder coming off a knee surgery that he has a good history, but how much mileage does his legs have left? And I they this wasn't what I was expecting out of this club. The Wolves came in, said how they were focused on winning, and then today was just kind of a punch in the gut, if you will, losing two players that I thought, and I'm sure a lot of people thought, were going to have a big impact on this year and possibly turn the corner this year, get a little more playing time, and now they're not going to be with us, and now we're sitting with a team of 15 guys or something like that that are rostered on the senior team. So we'll see. The front office has done a good job since they've been here, so I'm sure they have some sort of trick up their sleeve the next 10 days. But just real disheartened of the lack of intensity that the front office has shown. And anytime anybody asks them, like David said earlier in the show, it seems to be a scripted response. We're recruiting hard, we're researching hard. The typical scripted responses you hear when a reporter or a journalist asks something controversial and the club doesn't want to divulge information in it. So we'll see what happens the next 10 days. It'll be interesting, and kind of set the tone for what I think the rest of the season will be, and what I think could have been or could still be, a championship winning team.
For sure. I believe we have one more comment before we go.
Uh, yep. William Aguilar said, "Did you speak about the alleged move of Gaston to Nacional?"
We sure did,
Yes,
my
we
friend.
did. And Buzz L says, "Yes, they did."
Okay, fantastic. Well, guys, I want once again, I want to thank everybody that watched us live, everybody that is gonna be watching us later on here on YouTube. Also, everybody's gonna be listening to the audio version of this podcast wherever you consume your podcasts. We are, I mean, any application, we're there. So thank you very much for those that are listening. Last year the audio audience was gaining a lot of traction. Our last episode was very well received, so thank you very much to all of you that watched us or listened to us. As of right now, next Monday we're gonna have a show. Most likely is gonna be an episode just talking about the friendly. If there's any news and stuff like that, to be quite honest with you, maybe a very short episode, but not an episode nonetheless. I believe I'm probably gonna be on the road. Gotta go to Pensacola, so I'm gonna be on the road, and I'm gonna be so yeah, I'm gonna be away from my friendly confines. But with that said, thank you very much to everybody that tune in. Um, if you have the opportunity to go watch the boys this Saturday, go ahead and do so. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. And with that, we say goodbye as we always do, reminding everybody that football is not played on paper but on grass. That football is cruel and unpredictable. Football will make you cry for joy or anger. Football is football, and that's the way we like it, my friends. So thank you very much from Ahmed, John, and myself. May God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!